Hi there, guys. It's Metso here. It's been a little while. I actually went on a vacation and then I got sick right after I came back with a really bad, like annoying virus. And I felt absolutely horrendous a week ago. And that guest that we had that evening, we will have to reschedule into November because we're actually booked through October, guys. It's really, really cool. I want to say hi to everybody. Hi, Stephanie Grubbs. Hi, C.S. Nable. Hi, Night Vision. There was a Timothy Ming earlier. Tony, hello. I see Van in the chat. Hi, how's it going? I wish you were here. I wish Tony was here. But you know, and then I see Van says, I'm bummed not to be on tonight, but Metz is a great interviewer with one of the country's top saber fighters. Who could ask for more? I appreciate it. Hopefully everyone who we know, including Tony and anyone on the East Coast who has been experiencing hurricane, I think it was Helene or Helena. My brain was like forgetting what the last letter was all the time. That you stay safe, and that you have the what's the word? Like the supplies that you need to be able to get by. Hello, meme time. How are you? I hope you are well. It's good to see all of our usuals. Hello, Timothy. Hello, Mo. Joe's Flow. We guys, I know there's a lot of people here tonight, but guess what? It's because we have a really awesome thing happening at the end of the show. We do have a giveaway of a saber tonight. I will show you a picture of it in just a moment. I'm very excited for this. So here is the saber for tonight. This is the Nibor, I think is how you say it, saber. I actually don't know how to say it specifically, but this is the saber that is up for the giveaway tonight, and we will do this at the end of the show. Well, how do you enter, you ask? The way that you enter is you just comment in the chat. Yeah, that's all you do. So if you've commented, you're in there. Hi, Raph. Hi, Cam. Hello, Camo Ducky. Hi, Zachary. There's so many people. I'm not sure I can keep up with comments tonight. Hello, DeLong Family Cosplay. How are you? Yeah, I did see about the chemical fire in Georgia. That was Biolabs. I did see that. That's pretty bad. Hello, Elka. So hello, Sammy. All right. I had to I'm not sure I can keep up with the comments tonight, Van. Live with it. Like displaying them on the screen. That just, no. That's, no. I'm just not going to worry about it. I wonder who Bobby Z is in the chat. Our guest tonight, Bobby Zavala. Yes, I'm very excited to have him on the show too. Yes, so we have a giveaway tonight. I'm very excited for that. What are the rules of the giveaway? You cannot have won a saber in the last 6 months, and you cannot be employed by Kyber Cave Productions or Kyber Cave. If you have met those, then you are able to enter in the competition. Hello, Raf. And if you do win and you cannot come to get the saber from the store, then you'll have to pay for shipping, which is only $15, I believe. And then you can contact the store, kybercave@gmail.com, if you are the winner. And you have 1 week to contact them, or we will do another giveaway of that saber instead. So there are several ways to contact. You can do kybercave@gmail.com. You can do kybercaveproductions@gmail.com. Or you can actually message Kybercave on their Facebook site. And that is right. So hello, saw some of you guys at the Tahoe Comic Con. Awesome, JJ Klein. That's great. You probably met Van and the store manager, Steven. They are the ones that are consistently going to cons. And then I think Shelby helps out sometimes when they're nearby. I'm not sure. But anyway, we have a giveaway tonight because we reached 2,200 subs and we're already at over 2,250. So we do a giveaway every 100 subscribers. So help us just keep going, guys. Every 100 subs, we do another giveaway. And every 1,000 mark, I believe, we actually do a NeoPixel giveaway. So at 3,000, we'll do another giveaway. And I'm very excited for when that comes up. So if you don't know me and you guys just joined, I'm Metso. I am director, editor, co-host on the show, Kyber Cave Productions, on Saber Rattle, on the channel. I manage a bunch of stuff. I make all the editing right now and stuff. So nice to meet you. I've been on the channel for 2.5 years next month, which is kind of crazy to think it's been that long. First thing that we always do on our show, guys, I go over the nerdy news. Now, so nerdy news today. You can always see these in the description. I put the links down there, but you would also be able to see them in the chat in just a moment. You might have heard that Dame Maggie Smith passed away. For those of you who don't know who she is, which I'd be very surprised if you didn't, she is very popular for I know it's a sad start to the nerdy news. I usually don't do sad, but we're losing some big, big stars recently. Dame Maggie Smith played Wendy in Hook. She was Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter series, and she was Violet Crowley in Downton Abbey. Yes, a legend has left us, C. Asnable. I 100% agree. She will be deeply missed, and she was hilarious. She was classy, not afraid to speak her mind, and so many. We missed her already. Yes, layered grumpy bugger. I 100% agree. We missed the dame already. So just want to send peaceful thoughts to her family. Even with someone who's had a long, wonderful life, it's still incredibly sad to lose someone you care about. So that is the first of the nerdy news. If you would like to check it out, I included a Vanity Fair article after that they posted after her passing. Talks about her life and some of her accomplishments. And we loved you, Maggie, and we always will love you. All right, next in our nerdy news, guys. This is the good news part, and this is somewhat Star Wars related because it's an actor related to it. Ewan McGregor was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it was really, really cool to see. And I was very excited about that. If you guys want to check that out and information on it, I just posted the link into the chat, but you can check it out later. If you're watching the upload, it's in the description. I'm very excited for Ewan McGregor. He, for all of you should know, he's Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars world, the young Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he just had the first season of the show recently. I think he's spectacular. I'm a big fan of his. I've actually been a fan of Ewan McGregor since the late 90s or so. For all the girlies out there my age, Moulin Rouge. About time he got one. I 100% agree. There's some people, when they finally do get the star on the Walk of Fame, it's like, really? It's about time. Hi, Darth Daddy. How are you? So that is your news for today. And I'm very excited that he got his star. I think that's really well-deserved, well-earned, and it's been long enough. He was also Christopher Robin, yes, in Winnie the Pooh, live action. He's been in so many things, it's hard to keep track. He was Lumiere in the most recent live action Beauty and the Beast movie with Emma Watson and Luke Evans and Daniel Stevens. So he's been in so many things over time. Actually, my favorite thing he's ever been in, aside from Star Wars, is Big Fish. That was because that was my first date with my husband. So that is your nerdy news for today, guys. If you want to check those out, description below. Now, next we have our flow of the show. James Kaiser is a producer on our show, and he has been here since before I joined. And he finds a really good flow that we feature on our show every week. And you can check her out. I'll put her link in there after she has played. But please enjoy Jeon Rainbow Unicorn. All right, so that was pretty trippy, pretty cool, really neat and fun to like the way the hoop moves, the loop that she has, the hoop moves is really interesting. If you want to check her out, I posted her link in the chat. If you're watching the upload, it is also in the description. I went and checked out her profile a little bit when I was editing yesterday, and it was really cool. Had some great videos. I know we are a family friendly show. Some of her outfits aren't necessarily the most family friendly for kids, so that's up to your discretion as a parent to show if you're wanting to show them. But her movement is pretty amazing and awesome, and she's got some really cool locations that she's done some of her stuff in, which is really neat. I really enjoyed that part of it. All right, guys. So thank you, James Kaiser, for bringing that as our producer for flow of the show. And yes, he has been here since the beginning. Thank you for noting that. Appreciate it. Nice chest rolls and isolations, plus that slow-mo camera was awesome. Yeah, there's some great control there. I really thought it was, I was like, that's pretty next level on that kind of stuff. All right, guys, well, it's time for our show, the big part of our show, which is our interview. We have a really, really cool interview coming up and a really important like event happening with it that we're going to talk to you guys about. So please welcome the charter rep from the Saber Legion, Bobby Zavala. Hi, Bobby. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
I'm glad to have you on tonight, and I'm actually really excited. Yes, somebody's just asked in the comments if the show started on time. You know what, Steven? Right when the timer hit 0, I hit go live. So, thank you. So I'm really excited to actually have you on the show. And I actually, it was really interesting because I know you appeared on Ninja Warrior a couple times, and my family watches it. And my husband's got a pretty good memory, and he's like, I think I know that name. I thought that was pretty cool. But we're actually really here to talk about Saber. You're a rep for the Saber Legion and Saber competition, which is really, really cool. Night Vision just said, cage match, I want an octagon. That would be interesting. If I see any cool comments or questions, they'll pop up on the screen for you that we can address. Like if it's a question, we can address it after whatever question we're on. So one thing is, can you tell the audience a little something about your personal life, like family hobbies, other than what we have as LED combat?
So, my background, as you saw, was Ninja Warrior. I've been part of the Ninja Warrior community for about 12 years. I've been a part of it since before it was really a legit sport, and now there's 4 international leagues, and I've seen it grow from the beginning, adding kids. I've built gyms for it. It used to be one of my main jobs. I'd go around the country, build gyms. I've coached. I'm on my second generation of kids now that I'm
That's
coaching.
awesome.
Because now I still compete pro in the ninja leagues, but I lose to the first generation of kids that we coach pretty frequently. They are adults now and beat us
Young
pretty
and
badly.
spry.
So yeah, I'm still pretty active in that, but and it keeps me in shape in my 30s. But I'm semi-retired as far as competing because it's just a
It
little
can be a
harder to keep
lot.
up. A little
Yeah, it
harder to
can.
keep up now than it was 12 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine. I didn't mention this to you. You don't know this necessarily about me, but I did martial arts myself when I was a little bit younger. And getting older, I was just like, I cannot keep up. That's just, and then I know it's different for every person in that sense.
Yeah, well, it's not even really as much as the that I can't do what I used to be able to do. It's just
Yep.
that the sports evolved so much that
Oh,
basically what the pros have to do now is ridiculous, and what the 10-year-old division is doing right now is what the pro division had to do 10 years ago.
I've seen that in a vast array of physical sports, of any, like even dance. Like I've
Mhm.
seen where we'll watch. My husband and I have watched competitions of dance, and you see what someone did 10 years ago that was amazing compared to now is like very vastly different when it comes to difficulty sometimes and stuff. So how did you find your way into LED combat, and especially how you found your way to the Saber Legion?
So, I used to do really stupid things with sabers. Like I bought some ultra sabers, and like I don't know if I've sent you some videos, but there's some old videos that probably aren't the safest where I'm like lightsaber fighting some other ninjas on slacklines or just swinging
Oh
from rings
my.
while swinging at each other. It wasn't very safe, but ninja community, they're a bunch of overgrown children that are not always the
Okay.
smartest. And but basically, I found the Saber Legion through we our original charter rep for Tennessee was Cumberland Dugan, and he started it over at a Taekwondo school in West Nashville, Tennessee, and I went in there, tried it out. I ended up falling in love with it, and I'm starting to see a whole lot with the Saber Legion. How I saw in the earlier Ninja days before Ninja grew up and blew to be the sport that it is now. To where it was just more of a tight knit community that we would all travel the country, spend way too much time and money to just go hang out with each other and do these competitions, and then go out and hang out afterwards and still see the same type of camaraderie that I see in LED saber combat as I used to see in the ninja community.
Gotcha. Oh, that's so cool. Like the way it evolved into doing into LED combat and stuff like that. That you got into it. Now I know you're a charter rep for the Saber Legion. What are some positions that maybe like a charter rep does and some of your responsibilities?
So they divide the charter reps per their area for the state. So I'm actually a co-rep for Tennessee. Like we have I'm Nashville, Middle Tennessee area. Still hear me? I know. Okay.
Yeah,
So
first
the
for like a split second, but I know
yeah.
you're a co rep for Tennessee area.
Yeah, so we also just have a charter in Knoxville, Tennessee, and the East
Okay.
Tennessee that just popped up, and they're doing pretty strong there. As a representative, we pretty much relay the information, make sure our charter has gear, get us involved in whatever events are going up, and then we also will plan our practices, we'll plan our events, we'll host annual tournaments for the whole sport, and we'll pretty much go from there.
That's really cool. And if you guys want to check it out, I just posted a link in the chat to the Saber Legion's Facebook page. They have like a main Facebook page, and I saw that they have like the different areas for the Saber Legion for whatever area. If you join the Saber Legion or the Facebook group, there's ones for your area as well. I thought that was really really cool. So what's the hardest part of being a charter rep, like developing an active way of a growing charter?
So, saber combat is a very niche sport, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very so the Saber Legion, it plays more like a mixed martial arts, a different sword combat. So I've always played on the theory of it's very easy to get an athlete to show off their nerdy side, but it's very hard to get a nerd to show off their athlete side.
Gotcha.
So when you're trying to legitimize the sport, when you're describing it, it just sounds like a bunch of nerds out at a facility just swinging lightsabers at each other. But in reality, it's a very physical, demanding sport that's very technical and requires a whole lot of technique and athleticism
Mm-hmm.
to be able to succeed.
Yeah,
And
I know that like because when people's first thought is sabers, they don't think it's going to be like a trained specific fight. They think it's going to be like those 15-year-old kids that kind of go out with their sabers at night and just try to hit them and have fun. But these are things that you train hours for. You take classes for. People get together and they share tips on the training and such like that. And so it's really not just like I said, the 15-year-old kids like just going out at night and trying something. It's something that's it's grown so much. Different academies, different schools. It's really impressive because when I first joined Kyber K Productions, I was like what I would have called a casual fan of Star Wars. I had no idea there was even a competitive leagues like at all in Saber, and knowing that this whole community existed and finding that out, I was like, wow, this is impressive and this is really cool. And for those of you who think it's not competitive, go watch some of these videos. You'll see some of these in the intro and outro that I've made for Mr. Zavala here. There is some pretty impressive things that you see these people do, very athletic. And not everybody who is a Saber competitor is actually a Star Wars fan either. I mean, a good majority might be, but there are a lot of people who don't necessarily like Star Wars, but are a Saber competitor too. And there's plenty of nerd people out there that aren't Star Wars fans necessarily either. So I wanted to ask you before we get into the main focus of our interview tonight. I wanted to talk about if you know much about a any kind of youth program for younger students with Saber Legion.
So as far as the Saber Legion, right now officially we only have competitive is 18 and up. You can practice all the way down to 15, and I think you can start doing championship series matches as young as 16. I know our sports management lead, Seth Clendenning, he's trying to push for more youthful programs, and it's in the works. But for right now, um, that is not something official that we have yet. But there are the schools like our Saber Strong program. Before the pandemic, we had a kids program involved with Saber Strong. I know Saber Light Knights in Virginia has their youth program that are affiliated with the school specific. But as far as with the leagues, there's nothing official yet.
Gotcha. For those who want to check out more about Saber Legion, I also put their website, saberlegion.org, in the chat as well. If someone wants to join Saber Legion? What is the best thing for them to do? The first step.
Well, the very first step is find where your local charter meet is. We have charter meets all over the country and in multiple other countries as well. And just go to the Saber Legion's main Facebook page, put up a post. Someone's going to comment and tell you where the closest charter rep is to you and where the closest practice is. There is a certain level of gear that you do have to wear to be able to spar for safety reasons, but most charters do have a lot of loaner gear and they do have enough to get you interested before having to just drop hundreds of dollars to get the right
Yeah.
equipment. You can just go see if you even like it. Make sure that you have good trial and error because the sabers we fight with are probably not the typical sabers that you get off of more mainstream saber websites.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and usually, if you go to a charter meet, you'll see different brands that are more inclined to what we fight with than
Gotcha. Okay, that's really really cool. So if you guys are interested, go onto your Facebook and see if you can find the closest area that have the meetups and closest area for the Facebook page. You can just make a post and try to get some information. That's really really cool. So now you have an important fight coming up
Mhm,
against Jared Graham that I think you're very excited about. Like you've
mhm.
even said yourself, he's one of the best. And I'm going to put some info on the screen for everybody who is watching. This is the information on the match itself. And I will post this on our Facebook as well after so that people, who don't get a chance to watch yet and they get to see that too as like a reminder during the week as well. This is a championship match between the two of you, and it's a title match. What is the title that will be held?
So this is the championship series belt. So this
Okay.
is the title match that says that we're currently. I don't really want to say number one in the sport because that's really you want to fight. It doesn't exactly mean you're number one, but it does say that we have the title belt that says that we have the title of
Saber Legion number one.
yeah, basically.
That's cool. This match says it's a multi-year rivalry. Will you give us a brief overview of how the match came about?
All right, so Jared Graham, he was the most recent person to win the belts, and the way that it works in the Saber Legion is after you win the title belt, you have about 6 months to choose someone to defend yourself with it. We do have a ranking system. You can see it on the main website of the saberlegion.org. Anyone in the top 12 in standard is able to compete for the belt. And you do have within a 6 month period, you have to challenge whoever has the current belt, and then they choose from who challenges them within 6 months to try to defend it.
That's
And
really cool.
Jared, I've known Jared. I've been doing the Saber Legion for about 6 years now. I've known Jared for about 4 or 5 of it. He's been around longer than I have. But ever since the very first time I ever fought him was actually in Florida at this same event that we're going to, and he actually beat me. It was about
Oh,
four years ago. Was the first time I actually fought him. He beat me there, and then it's been pretty back and forth over the years. Multiple events we go through. We'll match each other up, and we'll usually be the one that takes the other person out of the competition. And
that's And then, like, as I did ask this beforehand because I want to make sure it's a friendly rivalry.
It
They
is.
do like
There's
each other.
Yeah, it is. If you notice the background of the flyer, it's all just photos of me and him fighting
Yeah.
each other over
Yeah,
the
it should.
year.
This is all. These ones
Yeah.
all. On the, I don't know why I'm using my mouse. They cannot see that.
Well,
I was like
you can
hovering my
see
mouse over them,
you
but
can
you
see
can see
right in the
behind
middle,
them.
right in the middle. You can see after
Oh
I
yeah,
beat him for the first time,
right
he picked
there in
me
the
up,
middle.
and then there's in the bottom left. You can see at a different match, I picked him up,
I think I
and
actually have that the picture of the picking one of the picking ups in the outro video,
mhm.
so you guys can get a better look at that afterwards. All right, so what are some of your steps for preparing for a match?
All right. So this is like a mixed martial arts of saber
Mm-hmm.
combat. Just different sword arts. So you have people that have rapier backgrounds, traditional HEMA backgrounds, or kendo, or whatever their fencing background is. So you got to pretty much prepare to fight an individual person with knowing how that person particularly fights. Like I'm not going to go into a ring fighting someone with an Italian rapier background the same I'm going to fight someone with a kendo background. It's just not going to work the same. So with Jared, uh, his background, I have a guy locally that fights similar enough to him that I
Okay.
will just sit there and try to train with him as much as I possibly can. That was my plan, but then this last weekend we ended up matching up against each other and Blade Soberfest, and he changed up the strategy a little bit. So I got to
Ooh. Keep you on your toes there,
yeah,
like
I got
literally.
to figure out some new tricks by November.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Yeah. So for those who didn't see it, yes, it's on November 8th in Orlando, Florida. So how much time do you put into training for a specific match? And is there anything you do differently for matches than your usual practice? I know you just mentioned you kind of change the way you approach a fight depending on what the background of the person that you're fighting is. Is there anything
mhm.
else that you do that's specifically for a match?
so this sport, a very light touch and a hard hit count the same. So it's
Okay.
really a game of distance and touch. So some type of drill that keeps your core tight, keep you light on your feet, being able to move around, because it's a game of distance. But I'm also very big on cross training. I've always been the same with my ninja background. Like don't rock climb as often as I used to, but I will go rock climb and just do whatever I can to try to stay light on my feet and keep my grip strong and my core strong and just whatever I can to make sure that I physically can keep up and run around the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I know
That
Jared,
endurance.
yeah, not just endurance, but the balance and the grip and the core that you
Yeah.
need. Like people don't realize just being able to quickly move directions, how much balance and strength that actually takes.
You gotta have very good agility.
Hmm.
That quick reaction to bouncing and moving quickly. And, is there specific, can you block if you block with your arm, that's considered a hit. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a point
Okay.
on your arm. So,
Okay, gotcha. I don't know as much about the fighting aspect and stuff. When I did martial arts, I only ever trained with a bow staff. So that's a bit long
yeah.
in comparison, and it has been very long since I did that. It was like in my teen years, and I'm in my later 30s. So it was a very long time ago. I just want to let everyone know in chat that if you have any questions for a Bobby here, you are welcome to post it into the chat, and I will make sure we get those addressed. So what is a mindset that you go into for a match like this, or even any match necessarily? Is it different for this match than others? What's a good mindset that you like to put yourself into?
Well, this might sound a little narcissistic, but it's not really if you break it down. I go in a match knowing that I can win, but accepting that other people there also can win.
Hmm.
So
That
I
actually
go,
makes 100% sense.
yeah. So my mentality is usually just probably because I've competed on a TV show 5 times and then coach kids and coaching kids. You can't get embarrassed when you're training and coaching with kids.
That's
Um,
very true. I
so
can see how that is. Yes,
so
100%.
like competitive aspect, like I don't really get nervous anymore. So I just go in just accepting the results of whatever's going to happen, but just knowing that I personally know my limitations and know that I have the potential to take everything, but I also accept that I can also lose to these other people that are in the competition as well.
Yeah, it's like when I always went to a competition, whether it had been I used to sing a lot in competition, and even like the martial arts. And the first thought is just like you focus on. I mean, some of my the focus would be as simple as breathing technique, just to keep your heart rate low, so you're not like using too much energy. That was one thing I definitely did. Even not even a match, when I would go and do a testing for a belt, you can get the nerves going because you want to just do well. But yeah, I like the approach of saying like you can win. Because if you think you can't, if you don't know if you can win, that kind of just puts people in a bad mindset for any kind of competitive competition they're going for, whether it be saber or singing, as I mentioned, or anything else. If you go in thinking you might not be able to win, then it just kind of ruins your mindset. I really like the way you approached it. Now, what's the best way that people can see this match? Is it going to be streamed online at all?
Yeah, it should be on the Saber Legion's YouTube page.
Oh, awesome.
Um,
Okay, let me look it
so
up
if
real
you just
quick.
go on the Saber Legion, just the main YouTube page and go underneath live. Any tournament, I know some tournaments we do have the Wi-Fi is not the best at the venue, so not
Mm-hmm.
every tournament that we have in the Saber Legion's live stream. But if you just click on the live tab on the main page, you can see a lot of previous tournaments that we've had.
All right, awesome. So I just posted the Saber Legion's YouTube channel into the chat. So if you guys want to see this fight coming up on November 8th at I think 8 p.m. Eastern time, would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay,
So
here's the info again.
it is set up. Championship series fights are kind of set up like a UFC fight. So we're the main headline. So you will see some fights going up beforehand. Like I know
Okay.
one of the matchups is Seth Clendenning versus Seth Beam, which is going to be power versus length fight. That's going to be a good one to watch. And
Ooh,
then
that's exciting. So
I
you guys
know,
aren't getting just one fight. You're getting a good section
yeah,
of fights.
it
That's really
is.
cool.
And then the day after we have the Kyber Open main tournament, and that will be going on all weekend, and you should be able to see all of it
We got
through
Tony
that
who
same.
says, Tony, I like Jared, but I'm rooting for Bobby Z.
Well, thank you, Tony. I'm glad I got at least one fan.
I'll root for you too, dude. I'm gonna root for you too.
Oh well, two.
Um,
I'm doubling it up already. Got it right there.
everybody in the chat now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really it's really fun and exciting. And I'm really excited for you to do this match. Now, how many times have you fought each other in the past? Do you know exactly how many?
So Jared and I have right now. So he's at we both are the first two in TSL history to break over 100 ranked standard matches.
Wow.
So he's at 103 right now. His record's 79 and 24. I'm at exactly 100 with 77 and 23.
Oh wow, you guys are so close.
Yeah,
That's
on
really
paper, if you look at the rankings, we're always like right there with each other, and we just keep
yeah, just like
swapping back and forth
yeah.
on the rankings. On paper, we look like the same person. But that's a good question because if you count the exotics division, I think we fought each other in the ring probably 7, 8 times over the years.
Okay. That's you guys always go out for a drink after because I would be like,
Yeah,
let's have dinner at least,
I, I,
just to like kind of the whole after the what's that decompressing after something you're
yeah,
preparing for a while. Joe's Flow says you got this in the bag.
yeah. I mean,
um,
that's the plan. So.
yes. So is there a specific saber that you like to use for competitions versus like
So
practicing?
I know the LGT Sabers they've been kind of taking over the market for the most part. So Rebel
Hmm.
Sabers is actually 45 minutes north of me, and they sponsor our charter. They sponsor a lot of events in the Saber Legion. So I mostly fight with this. They call it a scrapper on their website.
Ooh,
It's a design I actually made by just taking their parts and putting it together at this tournament last year in
that's
Florida.
cool.
And
Are those like two different hilts that you've put together, or is it specifically that long when it comes with?
It'll come this long.
Okay.
when you put it together. So I had this specifically made for fighting because the electronics are lower, the blade actually goes down, so there everything's over the threads, so nothing can
Okay.
flex and break off from the threads as easily. Um, and Rebel Sabers has been very kind to the whole Saber Legion, and they've been sponsoring hundreds of dollars worth of prizes to all of our
That's
events, and they've
awesome.
been really helping out my charter being so close and supplying us with this type of saber in various colors. They just know I love purple, so
Yeah,
they
okay. Yeah.
put that on.
That's
So
actually I was like so I kind of thought you might like purple and I don't know why, but I that's why I put that as like the background on the thumbnail. I have a
it's
purple
the
circle on it. Oh,
it's
I
the
see it in
hair.
your hair. Yeah, the hair, the
Yeah,
shirt, even. Purple is actually one of my favorite colors too. I
yeah,
actually have my LED lights here. I have a setting that turns them all purple.
nice.
This is kind of like a purpley pink. It was the closest I could find to purple. It says Mezzo on there on my little sign. On the hilt that you have, it looks like there's like almost two different grips. Could you actually explain what the advantage is for each of those?
Okay, so a lot of what I fight with, if you see some of the more aggressive fights, a lot of people will have like a two-handed defense and then a one-handed offense. So these grips right here help when I get a quick parry. If I just want to do a quick thrust, this grip in the back still helps me hold on to the bottom hand. This concave is just comfortable for my top hand, so I can get some strong parries and defensive strikes with my two hands just to get that quick extra reach that I need with that bottom grip without being able to lose my grip if they're able to counter.
That makes sense. Is it now? Do a lot of people like? Is there anyone that competes with shorter grips?
There's also some people like Jared's one of them. Like he's more of a one-handed style fighter, so his suba will actually be about here on a saber. He fights with the Celtic custom saber that's very customized to him, which is another friendly saber company in the Saber Legion. That's Alec Martinez. He's local to Florida charter, and he actually might be the one directing our match. I'm not
Okay,
100% sure who's directing our match, but we're pushing for him because he's a great guy, and he's very good at making custom sabers to your personal fighting style. And I personally just like this because I like those strong two-handed parries, but not everybody likes that fighting style.
that makes sense. We actually have a good question from Indigo Bird saying, "Do you prefer to use a more ergonomic grip or a more flashy grip when you fight?"
So I have that ninja background, which
Mm-hmm.
ninja every obstacle in ninja, if you break it down, it's all just glorified hit momentum. And when you're getting strong parries, it's basically the same thing. All the power is coming from your hips, and it's all leverage points.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting more of a flashy grip, I try to get a little bit stronger of a grip on my saber. So when I get that quick pivot point, uh, I can find the right angle to parry their blade and get all that quick strike power from my hips to where I can change the whole direction and my whole momentum faster than they can probably react.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like if they're not athletic or to the point where there's things that they block and whatnot, don't realize how much of your body actually really needs to go in there and follow through. I remember when I was reading my stuff and you would block something, it wasn't just your arm, it was your shoulder, your hip, your torso, like everything goes into it. And it's really puts a lot of power and pop into there. Do you have like do you when you do a match, are there any specific what's the word? You know, like some people do rituals, like a ritual of some sort, where something that gives, they feel like gives them an extra edge or luck or something. Do you have anything specific like that, like lucky shoes, you know, that you wear
I
to
dye
the
my hair
match?
purple.
That's the best, actually. I think I've
Yeah,
ever
I
heard
dye my hair
because
purple. Make sure I get decent sleep the night before.
yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, and just make sure I don't overdo the training and overwork myself when it comes close to more uh, important fight.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense. You don't want to like overdo it to where it's going to affect you when you have your fight. Now, we have a really good question from I'm not sure if I was pronouncing it, but Aziaka. What's your technique when you're a fighter? You're like your fighting stance, I guess specifically.
So I don't have the most traditional sword background. I'm just quick and light on my feet from the ninja background. But I did take a bunch of HEMA classes for about 6 months, and then I have done some of our SCA classes with rapier and everything locally just to try to get a little bit of edge and try to figure out how to get it to translate into this type of sport. So when you see my stances, it might look a little bit more like a relaxed Hema version, but really, I do a whole lot with feints. So there's a lot of times I'll take my top hand and my bottom hand's really controlling everything, but I'm able to just change the momentum pretty quickly off my bottom hands to where I can just fake people out in whatever
Yeah, it's like your
quadrant.
top hand looks like just a brace,
It is. It's kind of just
almost like a
pointing.
spotting. Yeah, just to direct.
Obviously, I can't really like point it straight at the camera right now without
No,
hitting
of course
something,
not.
but
No.
yeah,
I can't. I even have my own saber here, and I couldn't point that. Yeah, it's just not. It's just too long.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah, that front hand, that top hand is like it just directional, versus the bottom hand being where the
But
power comes from.
but
That's really cool.
but
Uh,
I'm also a firm believer in you can train all the defensive techniques that you want, but really the best technique is just to not be in the way. So I'll really just try to train footwork drills and being able to
okay,
judge my
dodging.
distance and judge my
Yeah.
distance away from
Mm-hmm.
people to where I can just stay off their line and just stay out of their way and only strike in when I know that I have an opening.
Do you have like a? You know what? I'm not gonna. I almost said, do you have a favorite combo? But I don't want Jared to get any, any advantage by asking if you have a
Well,
favorite combo.
my favorite combo would not work against Jared, so
Oh,
it
okay.
would be. I know better than to do it against him.
Okay,
So,
okay, understandable. Someone
so
said this is so cool. It reminds me of Bella Garth fighting. I'm
uh,
not sure what that is. Do you know what that is?
oh, that's the SCA style heavy fighting.
Okay,
Those people that had the suit of armor with those wooden sticks, or they'll have like metal swords, and they
okay,
a bit more of an expensive hobby. Like that cage fight you saw was a version of it in Nashville with our Nashville Arbor Combat. They do random fight nights where they just sell a bunch of tickets and go in a cage and beat each other up with suits of armor. And they invite us around every May 4th area to collab with them, and then that's where you saw that cool jump out the cage fight with my cross guard, and
that's so
uh,
cool.
it's good thumbnail videos, not as
Yeah,
practical,
yeah,
but
no, I understand. No, I remember when I was doing
uh,
martial arts, like there's some stuff that you can do that's really fancy, but it's not really practical when you put it into practice. I have a
yeah.
really good question on here that I'm going to ask that's from Gary L. Gaming, but I'm going to add on to it. He says, there are any lightsaber forms that actually get utilized for saber battle. Now, I don't know if lightsaber forms are like martial arts forms specifically, but the way I've always looked at it when I was in martial arts is that all of our forms were like a library for all the movements that you end up learning. So,
Mhm.
so are there any lightsaber forms that do get utilized for the battle?
So a lot of the lightsaber forms that you see in movies, those are usually made for show, and they look very good in choreography. But a lot of them that you'll see in the movies, they'll lead more with their body, which is one of the biggest no-nos in any type of sword art that you do. You always want to lead with the blade. So there's certain aspects that you could take out of the lightsaber forms that will just help with your movement, with just being able to just get the cuts in, get the certain type of thrust. And then some of them actually do derive from certain fencing basics that can translate. But for the most part, they're just more for show, and uh, I wouldn't read too much into them if you're trying to succeed in a sport like this.
That makes sense, yeah, because I know a lot of like we've seen it can be very fancy in movies and TV shows that we've seen, but they're made to look like that. They're not necessarily what you actually. It's not something you'll actually see at a competition normally. Those are always choreographed ahead of time, and those aren't. This is going to be real fighting that you guys are going to see, which is always really fun to watch and very exciting. I would rather, like a lot of people like baseball, I'd rather watch about 10 hours of saber competition than like go to an MLB game because I think it's way more entertaining. Badger Piper says, how do you deal with overly defensive fighters?
Well, this is actually something that goes in with HEMA. If you ever research the Myers Square, the Myers Square plays off the theory that it divides your body up into four quadrants, and it's how to attack all four different quadrants, because you can only defend one quadrant at a time, but you can
Hmm.
never defend every quadrant 100% of the time.
Okay.
So if someone's being too defensive, I'll just keep trying to fake them out. personally, they'll hold their blade out. I'll just start attacking their tip, acting like I'm about to hit it, but just mindlessly attacking the tip of their saber until they start to react. And once they start to react, I know that I've gotten in their head enough that I can fake them out with something and then hit a different quadrant.
Yeah, yeah, just kind of throw them off from what they're expecting. That's good. Raf here says I practice off and on for 30 years in Bujinkan.
Well, that's cool. I'm
That's
not
pretty cool.
100% sure what that is, but
I'm not sure. Is I know it's probably a location. Zachary Lakehead says I'm from Nashville. What kind of events do you do locally?
so we actually practice at our Saber Strong school in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. It's about 20 minutes south of downtown Nashville. We do that every Friday at 6:30 p.m. If you just look up Saber Strong on Facebook, you can just message us there. We'll find you and add you to our group chat and be able to get
That's
you hooked up.
awesome. Yeah, I've actually contemplated. I'm in Northern California, and I've contemplating like joining a saber group of some sort because I do want to keep moving. You know, like I've had issues with my physical health with a disability, and I was like, I don't want to lose my movement. So people who are interested in even like not necessarily competition, but just want to get involved in saber as a practice, I think it's very healthy for people to get into. So here's some different information that's not necessarily focused on the competition, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Tony, our wonderful occasional co-host on the show, sent me some questions, so they aren't necessarily going to sound like it's straight from me, but I thought I had some pretty cool questions. Now, your Facebook profile says you are athletic director for Ninja Haven and that you're rep because we talked about a lot of that the ninja community that you're a part of. What are some ways that people who are interested in ninja could actually get into it more?
So Ninja, there's if you look up World Ninja Sport or World Ninja League or the UNAA.org or FINA.ninja, there used to be the Ninja Warrior Passport. I'm not 100% sure if that's still a website, but it would GPS locate every gym in the country
Oh, that's
that
cool.
would be able to find which would be the closest to you. But if you just look up one of those Ninja Leagues, the World Ninja League's the biggest one. And then UNAA.org, that'd be the second largest one. But if you
Okay.
just look up the competitions, they're all at accredited gyms for Ninja. And you'll be able to see what type of gyms are available in your area, to which there's a lot more ninja gyms available than
hmm
saber schools right now. Which
My husband and I, for a while, we were watching a lot of not like American Ninja Warrior, as a lot of people do watch, but more of the more like localized private competitions that are in the gyms, and those were a lot of fun to watch. And I loved the atmosphere because everyone's it just felt more personal. It's not like a fancy TV show. It felt so much more personal. It was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm switching back to some saber chat for a bit. So,
all right.
what are some of the best experiences you've had working with the Saber Legion?
So like I have said that it's reminds me of the early days of Ninja. So Ninja has
Mm-hmm.
blown up over the last 12 years that I've been doing it. From basically just a couple times a year we'd all get together, have some competition at some gym like what you've been seeing, and then now it's blown up into a sport that I have to have a background check and have coaching certification just to be on the floor with kids. And then
Gotcha.
it's blown up to where there's thousands of competitors competing in world finals in these leagues. But the earlier days, we would just go out and we'd do a competition just periodically. And then we'd all get together. We'd all just go to a karaoke bar, go to dinner, whatever type of community, just so we all just prove that we're all still friends and all camaraderie. The Saber,
You said prove. That made me giggle.
yeah. So the Saber Legion, I see a whole lot of that. So like the tournament we just had in Wisconsin last weekend, a lot of people like we did some unity fights over at a bar. We all had dinner, and then a lot of people went over to one of the directors' houses and just sang karaoke till way too
That's
late in the
awesome.
night. And
Yeah, that's how a karaoke should go.
yeah, but yeah, I do always enjoy the community aspect to where after no matter win or lose, we'll all go meet up afterwards. We'll all have dinner. We'll all go out and do something together as a group, just to prove that even though we're hitting each other in a ring for all day long, that we're still friends and we're
It's like
still going to go to
literally
the next
nothing
event.
personal.
Yeah.
It's a sport, you know.
Yeah.
It should be still fun, despite like
Hmm.
what a lot of people might expect. Like we said, it's a friendship, a friendly rivalry between Bobby and Jared,
Hmm.
and I'm excited. I'm going to plan to watch that because I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah.
I've already subscribed to the Saber Legion's YouTube channel, so I can make sure I get the
Hmm.
information. Guys, in the chat, I posted the Saber Legion YouTube, and I'll post it on the Facebook. Go subscribe to it so you don't miss this show. This I'm gonna say show, but this spectacular event of like not just Bobby and Jared fighting, but several other competitors have some really good matches coming up. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Bobby. I'm really excited to have. There's a lot of stuff I've learned that I did not know beforehand, and I know a lot of our viewers have learned. And I'm gonna put the graphic up one more time for you guys to see that here's Bobby Zavala versus Jared Graham. Challenge has been made to settle the score between a multi-year rivalry. This time it's for the belt. I'm guessing it's a physical belt that you'll get as a
Hmm.
as like a prize in a sense. That's
Yep.
very very exciting, and I'm very excited for you. I wish you the best. I am rooting for you, and we will be watching here at Kyber Cave. So guys, go ahead and check him out. I put links in the chat, but there's also links in the description for Saber Legion, where you can find more information about it. I hope you get some good rest coming up for this next month and a half or so that you have until the show, until the about 5 weeks until you have for the fight. Thank you so much for coming on, Bobby.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, bye.
So-
All right, guys, that was Bobby Zavala. So I appreciate him coming on the show. That was, as the Moon's Customs Armory said, badass, badass. We're not supposed to swear on the show, but I'll do it. It's okay. Hello, Bat Mike. It has been a while. You just tuned in right when the interview ended. So if you guys want to check out the information on Saber Legion, yes, it's in the description below. I put it in the chat, and I will post information on our Facebook page this week about Saber Legion and the fight that Bobby has coming up with Jared Graham. And other people will also be competing in that same stream. You'll be able to watch it on the Saber Legion YouTube channel. So go check out Saber Legion on YouTube. I found it, the first thing that popped up when I said the Saber Legion was their YouTube channel. You can subscribe so you don't miss out on that stream coming up. Now, guys, we have 28 of you here, which is really exciting. We've got 49 entries into our Saber giveaway that is later tonight. Just to give you a friendly little reminder of which Saber it is, this is the Saber that we are giving away tonight. This is the Nightwar. We will be doing this after Guess That Saber, which is going to be the next thing we're doing. So we're going to be doing this pretty quickly. Reminder of the rules. To enter into the show, all you have to enter the contest, all you have to do is chat. If you posted a little chat, you're into the competition. You're into our. I see competition because competition is the focus on my brain right now. Because I'm like thinking, I want to watch the competition. Into the contest, into the giveaway tonight. All you have to do is just say something in the chat. And the Saber is beautiful. I agree. So I don't know why I'm looking at the camera and you guys can't even see me. So if you cannot have won a Saber in the last 6 months, you cannot be an employee of Kyber Cave Productions or Kyber Cave. And if you cannot come to the store to pick it up, you'll just need to pay for shipping, which is $15 US dollars. If you want more information about international shipping, you can just kind of figure that out with the store manager. If you are the winner of the Saber tonight, please contact Kyber Cave. There's a few different ways. There's Kyber Cave Messenger on Facebook. You can do it through their messenger there. You can also email them, kybercave@gmail.com. You can message the YouTube channel if that's like the first thing you find, kybercaveproductions@gmail.com, or on the Kyber Cave Productions Messenger on Facebook. Kyber Caves has access to those as well. So we will get your message to Kyber Cave so you can get your Saber. So I'm very excited. Neighbor sounds like a razor brand. I think I just sound like that. So, all right, guys. So we're going to be doing Guess That Saber. Are you guys ready? So for Guess That Saber, who knows what the Saber is? Put it in the chat if you know what it is. Dun, 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 dun. I don't have any music for this part. I should do music for it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sing SpongeBob either. Yes, Andrew Barber is correct. This is Leia Organa's saber. It is beautiful. I love the color of it. It's like a rose gold pink. Yeah, I assumed a lot of you would know this one. I picked a pretty easy one for the first one. Okay, the second one might be a little bit harder for those who don't watch a lot of Star Wars or read much of the Star Wars canon stuff. So, here is your next saber to guess. Do you know who saber hilt this is? I even have a whole background thing to kind of give you a little bit info on this character's saber. Oh, Moon's Custom Armory with it was the correct name is Gunji. Gunji, who was among the top of his class, was sent to Ilum by Yoda, like to go look for his Kyber crystal. And I say Kyber cave, that's just stuck in my head. He was instructed by Jedi Master Yoda to enter a crystal cave and find the Kyber crystals. With a few, it looks like a throwing dagger. It is pointed like that. It actually it's made of wood, which is a very uncommon choice for saber hilts. But after he chose his Kyber crystal on their way back to Coruscant aboard the Crucible, Gunji and his fellow younglings began creating their own lightsabers under the guidance of Professor Hayana. When the ship was attacked by the pirate Hondo Onaka, after surviving the Great Jedi Purge, Gunji went on many adventures that you can actually discover the beginning part and more watching Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and The Bad Batch. He's been on both of those and has been mentioned, not just like appeared on them, but he's also been mentioned in those. You can see the little picture, the little image I put of him in the background. Also, Jawa's junkyard makes a really nice Gunji. Awesome. So that is your Guess That Saber for this evening. I like to try to get some fun different sabers that you guys haven't seen before or just not very well known. Like Gunji is a character I know you all know this and I get a hard time for it. I've never seen any of the animated shows. And I know that's terrible because before it got more into the nerdy aspect of things, I didn't know there was something called canon. I just thought the kids shows were just for kids, like just to have fun. I didn't realize they were part of a bigger story. And it's a lot to watch, and I'd be a little bit overwhelmed trying to watch them all right now. But that is Guess That Saber. And now, guys, it is time for the event of the evening that you guys I know all of you are very excited about. We are going to be doing our giveaway. So let me just get this ready right now and share my screen with all of you. There is the screen so you can see the actual drawing take place. And get your comments in last second if you're not entered in just yet. Timothy Eats a Lot of Show to watch. Well, it is a long, wonderful, beautiful show. It's not terribly long, but I've always enjoyed hosting it. It doesn't feel terribly long when I host, so it's always a fun, good time. And thank you all for coming in here and watching with us. If you win the saber, you do have 1 week to contact Kyber Cave. If you fail to contact us, we will be doing the giveaway again. But reminder, we also do a giveaway every 100 subs. We're already at over 2,250. So when we hit 2,300, we'll be doing another giveaway. You tell people about our channel and telling them to subscribe and everything. They'll happen more often and they'll just keep coming. They'll just keep happening. So tell people about this channel. Share. Okay. All right. So you guys ready? Here's a little drum roll. Here we go. Who's going to win? Who's going to do it? Oh. Bob. Our guest won the saber tonight. What just happened? You're on mute at the moment. I cannot hear you. But oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
Well, I put in one comment just to see what happens, and Hey, if I don't win a belt, at least there's a
Then
saber.
you've got a Kyber Cave saber called Nybor. That's really
Yeah.
awesome. So just use the Facebook chat we have with you to talk to Van about it,
Oh,
and then he'll direct you to the correct place. That is hilarious. So for those, our guest won the saber tonight. That is so funny. I think that's poetic in a way. I've won one on accident before too, which was like hilarious because I can't win that. That was the first giveaway I ever did. I won, and I was like, I can't do that. So congratulations on winning your saber.
well, thank you again for having me, and I guess a new saber.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this show. That was really cool. So if you want to, make sure we get our next saber giveaway. Actually, let me look at how many subscribers we currently have. I can get an exact number from my phone. We are at 2,269, guys. We're only 31 subs away from the next giveaway. And Van's been going to a lot of conventions, and so that adds a lot of subscribers as well because they talk to a lot of people. Share, just tell them to subscribe, like and subscribe. Yes, please do. It really, really helps us grow, and helping us grow helps you guys get more giveaways. So please subscribe. I will be actually playing, not terribly long. I plan to play some of the Star Wars video games from Steam. For the channel for some uploads, so make sure to turn that in. Mike. I'm so glad you're still loving your dark saber. Joanna Rowley says I bought 6 lightsabers at the Kaboom Con. Best purchase I've made. My kids and I have battles in the dark. If you guys want to see it, the hosts here have our own sabers. This is the Mets. That you can find, I can't get to focus, on kybercave.com. So if you want to check out Kyber Cave's sabers, just go to kybercave.com. Kyber Cave Productions also has their own merch. So you can go to kcpmerch.com. If you want to help support the time that goes into this channel, you can go to patreon.com/Kyber Cave Productions, and you can support us for as little as $1 a month. And then there's also all the way up to family. If you subscribe at the family or friends tier for 3 or more months, you're automatically entered into a giveaway that happens in May for special sabers. So if you guys want to check that out, will I play Squadron CS Naval? No, I think the ones I have are for Cal Kestis, a story. I think he looks like a really cool character, and I don't know his story very well. So when you do watch me play it, it will be the first time I'm experiencing any details about his storyline. So I'm very excited. And they have, I believe there's a live action show coming up. And I really hope they use the same actor since it's him. So I really hope they do use him for that. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. We'll be back next week, so make sure to keep an eye out for that and keep an eye on our Facebook page for information about the fight coming up. Please enjoy our Talk of the Town, and I'll see you next week. Bye.